Hello and welcome to Great Meadows in Independence, New Jersey. Today we are at Field of Dreams Disc Golf Course, home of the 2021 New Jersey State Championships. Field of Dreams offers a great experience for all level players with 4 main layouts featuring 2 tee pads and 2 baskets per hole. FOD plays as a moderately wooded course along the Peak West River with open fields for those big arms. Today we will be looking at Field of Dreams' most common layout, short to yellow, a par 59 at 5,377 feet. Beginners will be trying to stay on the fairway, working to shape both forehand and backhands on these 200 to 250 foot holes, where advanced players are looking for ace runs or at least really skilled second shots that give them birdie looks on those par 4s. Come out, bring some friends, and try and shoot some PRs.
Alright, hole 1, a par 4 at 412 feet. This hole plays right to left with everything on that left-hand side over the fence playing out of bounds. That flag line on the right-hand side is drawn in during tournament play. Comes in at around 150 feet to force the hyzer. If you've got big distance and a right to left wind, you might even find yourself putting for 2 on this one. Most players are going to get somewhere out in the middle of this field with your choice of forehand or backhand approach. Really looking to start off with a 3 on this hole 1. Hole 2, par 3 at 335 feet. This one can be tricky if you hit a tree early and fall to the left, especially during the summer. But if you hit the local line right there on the left with a staple putter or a mid, potential ace runs, or at least your best shot at getting close for the 2. A lot of people are going to be throwing something just down onto the flats to give you a long circle 2 look, or at least a fairly obstructed but definitely gettable approach for the 3. Hole 3, par 3 at 204 feet. This shot plays dead straight with the tree in the middle and OB all around the basket. The ideal shot is probably a right-hand forehand that fades away from the out of bounds, but I personally like the slight turnover with a putter or a mid on the left side of that tree. Generally, I find it settles right at the edge of the circle or getting pretty close. Most things that go out of bounds towards the basket will have a tap-in par. Hole 4A, par 3 at 188 feet. This is the tee pad for all of the short layouts, where all of the long layouts will play from hole 4B just behind the pavilion. This hole is actually being redesigned, so if you come back next year, you will not be playing the hanging basket, but a totally separate fairway altogether. There are a few ways to get here. You can play the low skip shot that gets you up towards the stairs there for an edge of circle putt, but the only way to run the ace or to get a really good 2, something that's close, is a stalling hyzer that comes up over this tree. Be careful of landing on an edge because you will risk the roll. If you go a little too far, you'll be putting back over that berm, risking the roll again. Again, the best shot is probably the right-hand backhand, stalling hyzer. Hole 5, par 3 at 206 feet. Very straightforward shot here, one of the easiest ones on the course. A little bit downhill, probably throwing a neutral putter or something with a little bit of a fade. It just gets over this hill, goes a little bit to the left, give yourself an inside the circle putt. Hole 6, par 4 at 478 feet. This hole plays left to right down the big hill with OB all over the place. The basketball court's on the left, the baseball field long. And if you get to the hillside, the left side over there is a big ditch that plays out of bounds like a big horseshoe. Good tee shots will be around here on the flats to give you either a backhand over the right side or the forehand hyzer that gets all the way down to the flat. There are opportunities for the big hero shot, the right-hand backhand turnover, especially in a left to right wind that can push you down there for the opportunity at the eagle. There are opportunities for good scores on this hole, but Still, if you end up with a par, it's going to be a pretty good time. Hole 7, par 4, 333 feet. The trick off the tee is to not hit this hill. Overhand throws are in play here. Right hand backhand with a putter, something with minimal fade, or the right hand forehand flex to the left of this main tree will get you into the center. The best shot I've ever seen on this hole is a right hand forehand cut roller. Cuts on the angle to the left of that tree and rolls all the way up towards the basket. Anything in the middle of that open spot right after the tree is going to give you the best second shot approach, right hand forehand or backhand turnover. Again, 4 is not a bad score on this hole. Alright, hole 8, starting off Birdie Alley, a par 3 at 206 feet. Probably one of the most aced holes on this course. It's a standard forehand hyzer. You can even get there with a backhand turnover, but the forehand is preferred. Pretty much anything that gets there with a putter or mid-range type distance is going to be circle 1 putts. Hole 9, a par 3 at 245 feet. Another great ace opportunity. You can see the basket right up there on the hill. The forehand is probably the preferred shot for most people that have it, but I like the backhand turnover with a neutral putter. Something that is just going to get right up there, settle nice and flat, and give me a circle 1 putt. Hole 10, par 3 at 231 feet. Few options off the tee. The right hand forehand is preferred down the main gap to avoid this tree on the left, or you can throw the hyzer down the right side with a pretty narrow gap, but if you hit it, generally if you have the distance, it'll fade towards circle 1. Right hand forehand is preferred by most players to get anywhere up here close to this tree on the right. Again, looking for an easy 2. Alright, hole 11, par 3 at 236 feet. This is one of my favorite practice holes. It's a pick your line, pick your shot, and execute it as best you can type hole. The Mando's not in play. Right hand forehand flex at the right of this big tree. You can go in between that tree and this tree here on the right, or you can go to the left on the main fairway with a backhand turnover. Main error is just going too long. Hole 12, the end of Birdie Alley, par 3 at 250 feet that plays left to right. My preferred line is the backhand turnover to the left of this skinny tree and down this big open fairway here. I've personally aced this hole twice with that shot, but the right hand forehand will also get you close. Main error is generally going too long, so let's see if you can make some magic. Hole 13, par 3 at 246 feet. Most people are playing this one for par, but there is opportunity for some very skilled shots to get up there for looks at the 2. The right hand forehand can play to the right of this initial tree that kind of flexes out as it comes up the hill. But the backhand turnover, pretty much anything that lands on the center of the hill about here is going to be a great shot. Some of the more skilled players will get up to the top of this hill for an unobstructed edge of circle 1 putt. Hole 14, par 3 at 285 feet, has out of bounds over the walking path and road, the left and right. The right hand forehand is probably going to be preferred if you have the distance to manage the often right to left headwind. So the backhand is going to push a little more left than you think, so swing it wide and settle nice and close. Hole 15, a par 4 at 460 feet, plays as one of the easiest par 4s on the course. Only danger off the tee is the walking path and beyond. In tournament play, we got this right hand flag line. The marker there in the center is about 240 feet. That signifies when the flag line tapers back towards the basket. Make sure the second close is within your putting range, because you don't want to go over and back, risking the bogey. So if you're too far, consider laying up for par. Alright, hole 16, a par 4 at 620 feet. This will play as the most difficult par 4 on the layout, requiring a huge drive off the tee. You're going to be looking at these cedar trees that signifies the gap. The second shot is ideally going to be a forehand approach. The right hand backhand turnover is probably going to fade a little too early or land on a cut angle and roll further away than you would like. If you do get close, you're going to be real happy. Leaving with a 4 is strokes on the field. Hole 17, a par 3 at 219 feet. Minimal risk off the tee. There's the walking path and beyond on the left and past the basket. Another ace run. Most people are going to try to throw the right hand hyzer at the tree line on the right side that fades in by the circle. But if you go straight through the tunnel here, you might give yourself the 1. So keep it close, get a good look for the 2, and otherwise run it. Alright, hole 18, a par 3 at 258 feet. The wind usually pushes right to left, which keeps discs close to that tree line, so some players will disc up to a fairway just to play for the skip at the end, push it away from the trees. Just make sure that if you are disking up, you don't go a little far past the basket. A lot of people get close to the circle, so let's see if you can end strong. That was short to yellow
At Field of Dreams Disc Golf Course in Great Meadows, New Jersey. I'm your tour guide, David Chernati with Ikigai Wellness. If you want to see more content like this, you can like, subscribe, do all the things. That way you're always notified when I come out with new videos. I hope to see you again soon, and as always, send it.